Apat na committees. Actually, dapat kasama nga yung kay Chairman Acop kasi may issue din doon about sa mga Coast Guards And the very reason that we are conducting this kind of approach, come to think of it, because every time that Chairman Abante is conducting his investigation on EJK, pupunta kami doon. We try to investigate those human rights violation. Kapag meron namang illegal drugs, we are going to Chairman Ace Barbers, yung issue about sa illegal drugs. We consume a lot of participation in different committees, like sa public accounts, yung mga properties that are being bought by Chinese nationals, and even do sa Committee on Transportation about do sa mga Coast Guards that we have found out na mga Chinese nationals also were recruited by the former administration.
Good morning po, Kongs. Unang tanong ko lang po, ano po yung magiging advantage po na pinagsama-sama natin itong apat na committee na to para po dito sa investigation nitong mga issue nga po on POGO, illegal drugs, and human rights?
Ako muna sasagot. So, I think it is for the best interest of this Congress to really have these apat na committees. Actually, dapat kasama nga yung kay Chairman Acop kasi may issue din doon about sa mga Coast Guards And the very reason that we are conducting this kind of approach, come to think of it, because every time that Chairman Abante is conducting his investigation on EJK, pupunta kami doon. We try to investigate those human rights violation. Kapag meron namang illegal drugs, we are going to Chairman Ace Barbers, yung issue about sa illegal drugs. We consume a lot of participation in different committees, like sa public accounts, yung mga properties that are being bought by Chinese nationals, and even do sa Committee on Transportation about do sa mga Coast Guards that we have found out na mga Chinese nationals also were recruited by the former administration. So basically, talagang nakita namin that interconnected yung lahat ng mga issues, and what is the primary objective doon sa ginagawa namin, to fast track para at the same time makita nga natin yung mga gagawin natin mga batas, and at the same time kung ano yung magiging recommendation ng apat na committees. So basically, pinadadali po natin yung investigasyon, and as a matter of fact ay yun po yung discussion with the speaker para na sa ganon ay makita po natin kung ano po talaga yung problema na kinaharap ng ating bayan.
Good morning, everyone. Anyway, the investigations all started last year pa dun sa committee ko. It all started with an ordinary investigation with regards to purchase of properties by Mexico, Pampanga. And one Chinese national in the person of Jiang Jiyang was involved in the transaction, and we found out that he's not a Filipino citizen claiming to be Filipino. Now, kaya kailangan tong apat na committee na magkasama-sama kasi there are interlocking data and personalities. For example, in the case of Edith Tayang, which is now a fugitive at the house, cited in contempt, with detention order, until now, hindi mahuli-huli, he's connected with Willie Ong sa Empire 999, in which that was the property in which 3.6 billion of shabu was recovered under yun kay Chairman Ace Barbers. And this Willie Ong is connected to Edith Tayang. Now, with regards to the POGO, in which Chairman Dan is now investigating, pumasok ngayon yung pangalan ng kapatid ni Michael Yang. Okay? Na konektado doon sa Fullwind Corporation, in which that is part of my committee's investigation, doon po lumabas yun. So, nagko-connect yung mga individuals. Kaya kailangan para magsasalubong na lahat. Kasi, kaya nga this investigation na may committee drags on for 1 year. Kasi every day, every hearing day, may lumalabas na mga pangalan in which those names na lumalabas is connected to POGO, is connected to drugs. So, that's why we ask kami mga chairman, including Chairman Acop, we ask the leadership na dapat i-consolidate ito lahat. yung Quadcom was created, no, for this purpose. Now, sabi nga ni Chairman Barbers, but of course, yung mga resolutions sa bawat committee, kaya hinahabol namin ngayon na ma-terminate na, makapagpagawa ng committee report para po yung the rest pa na dapat ang mga legislative remedial na gagawin ng House dito na po sa Quadcom, no? But of course, sabi ko na nga, yung mga committee, may minihanda na po kaming mga committee reports, no? So, yun yung buong picture why this Quadcom was created. No? Nagkakasalubong na yung mga personalities at sama yung issues. Thank you po.
Kay Chair ako po, bilang kayo po, isa po kayo sa mga senior din po na legislators and yung background po ninyo sa law enforcement, ano po yung nakikita ninyo na magiging, yun nga po yung advantage nito when it comes po doon sa ating pag-gather po ng evidence?
Thank you. Ako po ay membro sa lahat po ng committee na ito. Vice Chairman ako sa Committee on Dangerous Drugs, Vice Chairman ako sa Committee on Public Order and Safety, membro ako ng Committee on Human Rights, membro rin ako ng Committee on Public Accounts. Sa lahat po ng hearing na na-attendan ko dun sa apat na committee na ito, nakita ko na there are certain things or issues na intertwined with one another. So, there came a point na kami, na mga chairman nag-usap-usap. Kasi nahihirapan kami na lalabas sa isang committee, isang issue connected with another committee. To such an extent na kailangan ilabas namin uli dun sa committee. So, ang nangyayari, hindi namin matagpi-tagpi yung mga information about common issues. So sabi ko, why don't we come up with a, kung yung tinatawag po natin na whole of nation approach, magsama-sama na tayo para iisa na lang ang committee na hawak sa lahat ng issues na intertwined with one another. Yun po ang nangyari. Thank you.
Okay, thank you po.
Ako naman, naniniwala ako na yung investigation namin ito is actually a national security concern. Unang-una, we invited the former president to come, no? And he did not come. Imbitahan namin uli siya. The thing is, even the other committees would want to invite the former president. So, sapagkat siya lang ang makakasagot ng mga tanong na ito sa aking committee. Bakit sinasabi ng NUPL na more than 20,000 ang napatay? 16,000 ang napatay ng the vigilante forces. Nakatanggap kami ng datos mula sa Philippine National Police na nagsasabi doon na mga 21 lang ang napatay ng mga drug lords pero more than 7,000 ang napatay ng mga drug pushers at 440 people ang drug users na hindi dapat patayin, hindi dapat arestuin, kundi dapat i-rehabilitate, ay napatay. Oo. At hindi lang to, na-find out din namin na may reward system. Saan ang gagaling ang pera na binibigay sa mga nakakapatay ng mga pulis? Yun ang tanong namin dito. Kaya sabi namin, magkakasundo-sundo na kami para maimbitahan ang dating Pangulo para sagutin niya ang lahat ng mga bagay na ito because this concerns our national security at siya lamang ang makakasagot nito.
Thank you po, Kongs. Last on my... Ay, sige po, Kong
Dagdagan
Ace.
ko lang, kasi itong pag-create ng Quadcom ay sang-ayon ito sa rules ng House, no? Dun sa rules of procedure governing inquiries in aid of legislation. So hindi po ito bago, although this is historic as I stated earlier, kasi ngayon pa lang tayo nagkaroon ng ganitong klaseng multi-committees that will hear a common issue that encompasses all the what do you call this, the coverage of the different committees. So we thought it wise na para isang hearing tayo, hindi din aksayado yung oras ng ating mga inimbitahang resource persons, isang hearing tayo na gagawin natin. At ito ay hindi lamang kami ang nakapansin. Maraming kasamahan sa Kongreso. In fact, there was a privileged speech delivered by the Senior Deputy Speaker stating the same reason na there is a necessity na magkaroon tayo ng ganitong klaseng committee. Marami rin pong mga resolusyon na ipinasa, inihain sa atin at ito naman ay inadapt ng plenaryo na kung saan mayorya ng membro ng Kongreso ay sumasang-ayon na magkaroon ng quad committee or multi-committee that will hear the issues that we stated earlier. Yun lamang po. Dagdag na information.
Thank you po. Last on my end po, kailan po magsisimula yung hearing ng Quadcom na ito na ate pong binuo? At sino po yung mga, nabanggit na po kanina ni Kong Benny na we will invite the former president. Sino pa po yung mga, kumbaga, common resource person na iimbitahin po?
August 15 meron tayong start ng hearing, and I think 16 also we have also a meeting, but what we wanted is kasi meron tayong budget hearing dito and what we try to talk about, ilabas natin yung hearing, pumunta tayo sa other, like for example yung sa issue ko dun sa Pampanga, sa Pogo. So I told my co-chairman that siguro doon tayo mag-hearing para hindi tayo nakaka-istorbo doon sa budget hearing. Kasi we have to expedite also the budget hearings. So baka mawalan kami ng room dito, so ilalabas namin yung hearing.
We plan to have the first hearing here in Batasan sa August 15, di ba? August 15. Yun pa lang. Oo. And then, iimbitahan din namin sapagkat kasama rin dito si Senator Bato de la Rosa. Imbitahan namin siya. Now, it's up to him kung pupunta siya o hindi. Si Harry Roque, imbitahan din namin siya. Lahat ng mga dating mga director generals na involved sa mga pagpatay during the war on drugs, iimbitahan din po namin.
Thank you, Kat. Melalis Moras from PTB4.
Hi, good morning po mga Kong. Just a quick follow-up lang po kasi today at 10 a.m. may hearing din po ang about Pogo. So ano po yung magiging pagkakaiba ng hearing today sa magiging hearing natin sa August 15? And isunod ko na, pag-isahin ko na rin po. Ano pong mangyayari dun sa respective panel hearings ng kanya-kanya yung grupo? Ano pong mangyayari dun sa mga nag-gather nyo ng evidence? Kumbaga parang comparison lang dun sa magiging quad committee at iterminate na po ba yung mga kanya-kanyang probe?
So, hindi siya magiging termination. As a matter of fact, magiging parang makakatulong, augmentation, no? Doon sa pinaka-mother committee, which will be the Quad Committee. Basically, all the COMSECs are meeting right now para ma-consolidate yung mga topics that were discussed in every committees. And as a matter of fact, actually, kami rin naman yung mga uma-attend doon sa mga different committees with regard to this issue. And the reason that we took cognizance doon sa mga hearings nila, because ako, personally, nakita ko na may involvement yung issue ko sa issue nila. And sila naman, ganoon din, kaya sila uma-attend sa hearing ko dahil nakikita nila na may correlation. And basically, yun yung nag-start up ng lahat para sabi namin, para matapos na ito, ma-expedite natin, magsama-sama na tayo. So basically, yung sa Pogo, yung mamaya, tatapusin ko na yun. I-elevate na namin yung hearing dito sa Quadcom.
Anyway, just to add, kasi sa bawat committee may kanya-kanyang reso. So it has to be terminated, di ba? But of course, there are issues na somewhat parochial that should be resolved. No, so itong mga information at saka committee report that will be approved at the committee level will be used dito sa Quadcom. For example, in the case of Mexico Pampanga, supposedly dapat nga tapusin na kahapon eh. Kaya lang may lumutang ulit, no? Pero local. No, pero local. So the committee hearings at the committee level, it all depends, no, yung termination to the substantial data that will be gathered for purposes of the committee report and be used to this Quadcom, kasi itong Quadcom is focus on the national issues, no? Eka nga, sabi nga ni Chairman Abante, this now a national security concern. So, just like in my committee, may Mexico Pampanga pa ako, tatapusin ko na yan, mayroon pa akong San Simon, mayroon pang Tayabas ngayon. So, hindi pwedeng i-terminate basta-basta unless until nakuha natin yung buong picture at saka mga issues doon, no? Mga proof and data. So, yun po. But it can be used, no, dito sa Quadcom. Thank you.
So basically, the 4 committees will now prepare to write the exit report na isasubmit dito sa Quadcom so that we can also use the same evidence, either testimonial siya or material or documents na sinubmit sa aming committee, gagamitin din natin yon dito sa Quadcom. Kasi if you remember, we stated earlier na magkakaroon to ng isang malaking report wherein we will hold accountable yung mga accountable dito, yung mga may liabilities. If we will recommend prosecution against people in government that are involved in this shenanigan, and of course yung remedial legislation na pwede nating na magiging bunga nitong ang objective dito kasi isang malaking criminal organization ang aming teorya na nag-ooperate sa ating bansa. And because of that, we will have to come up with a legislation to ensure that this will not happen anymore kung meron tayong batas. Pangalawa, yung strict implementation nitong batas na gagawin natin. At pangatlo, syempre, bringing them to justice. Yan ang napaka-importante dyan. Thank you.
Supporting what Chairman Barber said, I really would like to say this, Dalawang bagay ang gagawin namin dito eh. Unang-una, yung sinasabi niyang remedial legislation. Pangalawa, gusto ko na ma-prosecute itong mga taong ito. Hindi lamang po legislation, kundi kapag nakita natin dito sa investigasyon na ito, na mayroong mga nagkasala dito, mayroong gumawa ng krimen dito, dapat yan i-prosecute. Whether it be DOJ o Ombudsman, is up to them. To prosecute these people sapagkat kinakailangan na to address this problem. Sapagkat naniniwala po kami dito na hindi lamang ito criminal organization. This is actually a syndicate. Whether you call it political or economic, whatever it might be, this is a syndicate operating in our country. Yun ang aming pag-aakala dito. Kaya kami nagkatipon-tipon. Alright.
Thank you po.
Thank you. Gab Lalo from Inquiry Online, you're recognized for your questions. Ayaw niya na.
Sir, I have 2 questions po. Sir, first kay Congressman Abante. Tanong ko lang po if tama po ba na isama yung human rights? Kasi yung iniimbestigahan po ng human rights happened before yung mga EJK, alleged EJK. Tapos ito naman pong Pogo, yung sa Mexico, recent lang naman po siya. I mean, paano pwede po mapaliwanag kung paano i-intertwine yung dalawang issue?
There are exchange of money here, ba? Ibig sabihin, ang nakita namin na there might be a quota system in the Philippine National Police, number 1. Although dinideny ito ng iba, pero ibang mga police na nasabi nila ito. Pangalawa, there's a reward system. So, ibig sabihin, sa reward system na yan, kapag nakapatay ka ng drug pusher, may reward ka. Nalaman namin na this is a testimony of one of the policemen that we have, officers, from 20,000 to 60,000 ang ibinabayad dyan. You see, Yan testimony. We'd like to find out why. We'd like to find out saan nanggagaling ang pera. Sapagat nalaman namin, nanggagaling yan sa Pogo money. Nanggagaling sa gambling money yan. Oo. Sa drugs naman, alam natin na ang pinatay nung panahon ng war on drugs ay mga drug pushers, mga drug lords. Pero nadamay ang mga drug users. Nadamay, merong mistaken identity. In fact, in our last hearing, merong 9 years old na bata na pinatay, binaril, pero nakalagay death certificate pneumonia. Walang police report ang ginawa, yung 4 na police na nag-imbestiga. Anong ibig sabihin po nito? Anong ibig sabihin yan? Wala kaming makita, wala kaming malaman kung ano nangyari dito. Kawawa yung ama na nagsabi, yung aking anak pinatay, andun ang bala. Nung pinatay siya, yung bala, hindi na natanggal, andun pa rin. Pero yung death certificate, ano nakalagay? Pneumonia.
Sir, just to follow up, I get na meron siyang correlation sa dangerous drugs. Pero sa Pogo and sa Mexico, Pampanga, ano pong connection niya, sir?
Yung exchange ng pera, yung pera, yung galing sa Pogo, galing sa gambling, na binabayad doon sa mga kapulisan natin.
Bukod doon, no, yung nakita natin na pinalabas sa Committee on Public Order, yung mga torture na ginagawa sa mga empleyado ng Pogo. Malaking bahagi yun ng human rights kasi forced labor doon sa report ng PAOK, sinasabi nila na pinipilit nila yung mga empleyado to work more than 18 hours. Imagine, para lang maka-achieve sila ng quota kasi may quota silang hinahabol. So, yan, isa yan bahagi ng human rights na dapat nating tingnan. No? Bukod dun sa murder that are committed against Pogo employees, yung torture, yung human trafficking dyan, kidnapping, lahat nandiyan dyan.
By the way, Chairman Barbers, nalaman din namin na meron din tayong police officers that are victims of human rights. Mga police officers na ginamit lamang. Ginamit. They did not really want to kill anyone, pero ginamit sila. Ang gusto natin malaman, sino yung gumamit? Ba't ginamit itong mga taong ito? And I would like to ask the police officers, even right now, kapag kayo, ginamit kayo, biktima kayo ng human rights, sumigaw na kayo. Sabihin nyo na sa amin yan. Kailangan nating malaman ito.
May I? Yes. Kayo yung nasa media, di po ba? And you have been members of the media, even during the past administration. If you remember, ang centerpiece of the past administration is the war on drugs. I think we agree on that. And the reason why it was the centerpiece because alam po nila na dahil sa drugs, maraming krimen na nangyari. Lahat ng karamihan ng krimen, it's connected to illegal drugs. Yun ang dahilan. After the administration, yung past administration namin, marami pa rin remnants na gumagawa ng mali For example, doon po sa nangyari sa San Juan, Batangas, yung tao, wala namang bypass na nangyari Basta binaril na lang yung tao. That's extrajudicial killing. Doon sa akin sa Antipolo, nag-kidnap sila ng tao dahil itinuro lang ng isang asset nila. Yung bata, college student sa Fatima, nasira tuloy yung buhay niya dahil nakakulong. So, I think, kung titingnan po natin, lahat po nung aspeto ng mga committee na ito ay nag-originate doon po sa isa, yung sa illegal drugs. So, yun po ang dahilan kung bakit kami nag-isip na dapat a committee or a quad committee, ito na lang ang maghihir nito para makorelate lahat. Ang hirap pong magtagpi kung hiwa-hiwalay po kami. Marami pong salamat.
So yan, my second question po. What is your opinion? Anyone can answer naman po. What is your opinion on views that drug war victims can, the relatives of the drug war victims can use these proceedings for their complaints at the ICC? Do you prefer this po, or do you agree with this, or do you prefer that cases should be filed here locally first?
Okay. Itong hearings natin ay public hearing, no? And since this is the nature is of public because of public interest, therefore records of such hearings will be of out in the public. So anyone can use the transcript or maybe even records of the hearings, no? As to how they're going to use it, hindi ho namin sakop yun. If the ICC would want to use this, it's up to them. No? Kasi nga, public record na ito, kung ano yun, kung makakatulong sa kanila o hindi makakatulong, it is up to them.
Actually, I made a statement that my hearing is domestic. No, we would like this to be heard para we could be able to resolve this domestically. No, I'm not going to allow the ICC to use the Committee on Human Rights. Para sabihin nila, ito ang pwede na Committee on Human Rights. Let them investigate on their own. Sila. Sapagkat sinabi naman ng ating Pangulo ngayon that we do not recognize the ICC in the Philippines right now. So it's up to them to investigate. But I am not going to allow the Committee on Human Rights to be used by the ICC for their own investigation.
Thank you, Gab. Billy Vegas from Abante Politico. You're recognized.
Kay Kong Abante lang po. Kung sabi nyo kanina, invite nyo si former President Duterte. How about, say, Senator Bato de la Rosa po?
Can you repeat the question, please?
I-invite nyo rin po ba si Senator Bato?
Yes, we are going to invite him. Definitely, we will.
Thank you. Jonathan Andal from GMA 7.
By the way, we're not inviting him because he's a senator, no? We're inviting him because he used to be the Director General in which libo-libo ang napatay. Kaya I just like to say this, no, sinasabi niya kasi na wala kaming karapatang mag-imbestiga. Meron kaming karapatang mag-imbestiga. He should have read even the rules of the Senate on that. You see, we're investigating him. We would like to invite him, not because he is a sitting senator, but because he was, during the time of the war on drugs, the Director General of the Philippine National Police. And under his stewardship, libo-libo ang napatay.
Good morning po, Jonathan Andal sa GMA News. Since dahil magiging Quadcom na po, mag-issue ba kayo ng bagong invitation kay former President Duterte signed by all four chair?
Yes, we will invite the former President to enlighten us dun sa issue on the war on drugs, no? And maybe he can shed some information that will be of help, no, in the writing of the committee report, especially dun sa remedial legislation na plano naming maging produkto nito, no? And his expertise, his wisdom will be appreciated by the Quadcom. Kaya kailangan naming marinig sa kanya mismo.
I understand yung initial reason ba't siya iimbita dahil sa war on drugs. Pero pag-uusapan din kasi sa Quadcom yung POGO. May gusto ba kayong itanong sa dating Pangulo tungkol sa POGO?
Well, basically, we have heard dun sa committee natin, no, that he issued Executive Order number 13 transferring the authority of CESA to conduct yung mga online gaming to PAGCOR. And because of this transfer of the power from CESA to PAGCOR, nag-proliferate yung mga illegal POGOs, considering all the criminal elements that we have seen, no? Ano yung rationale why this executive order was issued? But of course, meron di ba? But we have seen yung maraming elements sa drugs, sa pogos, sa buying of properties, sa EJK, na a while ago we are trying to correlate each other. And sino yung pinagmulan ng lahat ng ito? There must be something on top of everything. Hindi naman pumasok tong mga elementong to ng ganun lamang di ba? And probably this is the objective of this committee to find out, di ba? Kasi aside from crafting the right bills na magiging batas, syempre yung ang pananagutan ng mga nagperpetrate nitong mga problems that we are now trying to solve.
Anong particular question po yung gusto nyong itanong kay former President Duterte tungkol sa Pogo, Congressman Dan?
Well, actually, siyempre, mahirap sagutin yung ngayon na sasabihin na namin kung ano katanungan. We will just go with the flow. We'll be inviting him to shed light on all the issues pertaining do sa issues ng public order and safety, na compromise ba yung ating national security, and yung narrative that we are gearing toward a certain and one specific country, and instead of trying to be impartial about everything in order to maximize yung benefits that we can get to those countries, those are the issues that we have to tackle. And there are common denominator that existed in all this problem that we have encountered. Isa lang ang common denominator. Sa buying of properties, mga corporations owned by Chinese. Yung mga drugs entered in our country, all Chinese. Yung pogos, that we encountered a lot of criminal elements perpetrated by Chinese. Di ba? These are all connected. And because of this kind of interconnection, the implementation of all these orders nagbunga noong mga extrajudicial killings, di ba? That intertwined with drugs, di ba? Kaya marami tayong dapat itanong na dapat maintindihan ng tao dahil meron dito talagang yung pinuntahang isang pagpanig sa isang bansa at hindi pagpanig sa isang bansa. And I think the President is right on trying to put himself in a middle in order to maximize the benefits of the two countries. Kasi yun yung pinaka-outmost concern natin. Bakit tayo parang nandun, magiging probinsya na tayo ng China, ito ba ay tinatawag na mind conditioning to all of us? There must be something on top that somehow controlled us. Yun lang.
Last question na po. May timeline po ba kayo rito sa Quadcom ninyo? Hanggang kailan kayo mag-hearing?
Walang timeline. If the committees feel na we have already exhaustively gathered enough and sufficient information and data, then siguro that's a time. We have to be thorough about this investigation. Ayaw naman natin na-create ito at wala tayong produkto, no? As you probably all know, ang Kongresong mandato ng Kongreso ay gumawa ng batas, no? At hindi ganoon kadali para sa ganitong klaseng issue na gumawa tayo ng batas. That's why we want to be thorough about this. If this will take several hearings, if there is a necessity also to go around the country to conduct public hearings, why not? And if we feel that sufficient na yan, then that's the time siguro ihinto namin.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Big Simintak from Net25, you're recognized.
Okay, good morning po. Just a quick follow-up lang po. Sa sandaling mag-convene na yung Quadcom, may we know what will happen doon sa mga personalities involved doon sa 4 na committee na na-issuehan ng show cause order at saka warrant of arrest na until now they refuse to show up.
Okay, thank you. No. Anyway, the contempt and the contempt order that was issued to different personalities, and that includes Michael Yang, that will be only lifted, of course, if the resolution and the committee report was adopted in the plenary. So automatic lifted yan. But of course, if the presence of all those cited in contempt by each committee, if their presence is needed and necessary in this Quadcom committee, papatawag ulit namin. So again, if they refuse to attend hearings without valid excuse, therefore, they can be cited again in contempt. But sa committee level po, it will be automatically lifted pag dumating na po sa plenary approval or adoption ng committee report.
Just a clarification lang. Meaning to say, the committee report ng 4 na committee before mag-convene ng Quadcom will be submitted to plenary?
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Sabi ko kasi kanina, as I've said, there are issues or resolution that concerns parochial. No?
Okay.
So, tuloy-tuloy lang po yun until such time that a committee report will be approved at the committee level and adopted in plenary. While ongoing hearing dito sa Quadcom, if that committee report or data or facts, testimonies is needed to be used in this Quadcom, it can be used. For example lang ganito, yung sa case ni Michael Yang, that's why gusto ko lang dugtungan yung sinabi kanina ng mga kasamaan ko dito with regards to the presence of the President that will be invited by the Quadcom. Now, for example, the person who Michael Yang, alam naman ng public who is Michael Yang, di ba? Until now, he's a fugitive. He's cited in contempt sa committee. Now, alam naman po natin, lahat ngayon dito, nakaumang doon kay Michael Yang. For example, in my committee, Edith Tayang, etong si Willie Ong, konektado ang kapatid niya, ngayon dito sa Pogo, konektado doon sa, may isa pa, konektado sa Parmali. So, it is only the President, previous administration, or the past President that can answer this. Because nobody can answer with regards to the appointment, so-called appointment of Michael Yang. Di ba? As an economic advisor during that time. Whether that is official, hindi ko nakita yung dokumento, but it was announced in public. And Michael Yang now cannot be found. Tapos, itong Michael Yang ngayon, konektado sa lahat. Pogo, drugs, sa akin, sa committee ko. Yung mga Chinese national pretending to be Filipinos, yung mga tao doon, konektado sa kanya. So, who can answer this? I think nobody. Unless until we can catch up with Michael Yang or President Duterte himself. Thank you po.
Your question is, what happens to those people who were cited in contempt by the different committees? It would remain until, as far as our rules are concerned, until the final committee report is presented to the plenary. So, until they present themselves to the committee, if they present themselves to the committee, the contempt order will be lifted. If they will not appear up to the time that the committee report will be submitted to the plenary, it would only be the time na ma-lift then yung contempt nila. Yun po yung kwan. Now, this is a different committee. It's known as the Quad Committee. The committee would follow the rules of the House. I think the rules to be followed by the committee, Quad Committee is already being, shall we say, by the different COMSEC. They're preparing the rules to be followed by this committee already. So we can invite any person we want to, who would be necessary to provide us the necessary information. We can also cite people invited for contempt if they do not appear. Para bang ganun pa rin dun sa different committees dito. Thank you.
Thank you. Let us recognize Elson Kismorio from Manila Bulletin.
Hello, Kongs. Good morning po. On other matters po, just want to take advantage of this opportunity po kasi for Kong Akop, nasa balita po kasi I have to ask this. Regarding po yung issue on the Vice President's security detail, based on your experience and knowledge po from your background po sa police force, Kong, ano po ba yung tamang numero ho ng security detail dapat ng ng Vice President. Kasi parang may variance po kasi. VP Lenny reportedly had only 75 and in the case of VP Sara naman, even after the 75 police escorts were removed, nasa 400 pa daw po. So, just your take po.
You're asking for my
Your assessment.
opinion.
Yes po.
Being a former member of the uniformed service.
Yes, boss.
Yes. Securities or security personnel are provided because of their positions. Di po ba? And security personnel are also provided because of the threat assessment conducted by the authorities concerned. In the case of the Vice President, meron siya talagang official detail kailangan because of her position as the Vice President. Now, the number of the personnel which would be assigned to the Vice President would depend on the threat assessment conducted by the appropriate authorities. So kung yung threat assessment ay imminent, mas marami po ang security niya. Yun po. But if we compare yung security detail ni Vice President Robredo to Vice President Duterte, hindi ko po alam yung ano yung threat assessment na meron po silang dalawa.
So it's normal kung to have that kind of variance in number.
Kasi depende dun sa threat assessment niya eh. Whether malaki yung possibility na meron talang pagtatangka sa buhay niya. Ganon po yung aming sinusunod nung ako'y nasa serbisyo eh.
Okay, thank you, Kong. Just one more question. Since the five of you will be working more closely in the coming months, I was just wondering, may tawag po ba kayo sa grupo po ninyo? Especially since I think I can speak for the rest of my colleagues. Kayo po yung pinaka-no-nonsense na Solons. Kayo po kinakatakutan ng resource persons. Kapag nagagalit nga po kayo, pati po kami nagko-cover, natatakot din po eh. I know kung Barbers likes the term debonair. So,
Hindi, siguro I guess it's now a challenge to the media to coin a term for that. But for us, trabaho lang po, walang personalan. Most of us, ako ay last termer. Si Kong Paduano is also a last termer. So we've been here in Congress ilang rounds na rin. So trabaho lang kasi gusto rin natin talaga na matulungan ang ating bansa, ang ating administrasyon sa ngayon. So, if you're going to ask my honest opinion, wala kaming naisip. Hindi naman pwedeng Spice Boys dahil Old Spice na kami.
that's a deodorant, boss. Thank you po.
Thank you. Krisa Subing from Inquirer.
Hello, good morning po, sir. Nabanggit na po ni Kong Apcop kanina na the same rules of the committee will apply to this Quadcom in terms of how you will invite resource persons and whether you can cite them in contempt if they don't appear. I'm wondering how that would extend to when you invite President Duterte, because if I remember correctly, nung in-invite po siya ni Com Abante for the Committee on Human Rights, he extended what do you call this, presidential courtesy in that hindi naman po magli-lead to a show cause order or anything. If the Quadcom invites President Duterte, will that privilege be also extended to him, or is it the kind where if he doesn't show up, as I'm sure he will likely be doing, pwede po ba ito mag-lead to a citation of contempt?
Ako, I think we have to exhaust every possibilities, if the President, again, hindi umattend sa papatawag nating hearings, maraming option that we can possibly do, trying to issue a show cause order. Most likely we will be refraining muna sa ganong aksyon, but for the meantime the chairman and the members are talking about different kind of options. So wag natin sigurong pag-usapan yon. Let it really flow in the natural way. Para na sa ganun, wag natin ma-preempt yung sitwasyon.
Thank you. Joy Cantos from Filipino Star ngayon.
Sir, nasang level po yung grant conspiracy between dito sa mga POGO operators at sa mga airing government officials natin na involved po? Kasi yung POGOs po na-establish doon yung involved din sa organized crime syndicates. Meron pa nga pong mga human trafficking, may drugs, may love scam pa. Pinasok na rin lahat ng scam po eh. Sige po. Kasi po, yung some government officials po natin involved din, past, pwedeng meron din sa present. Kasi nakapag-produce sila ng mga birth certificate, ng mga fake passport. Hindi naman po mangyayari yung kung walang connivance.
Ito po kasi, again, as I've said, it started it all with my committee, no? Doon po sa mga late registration, PSA, doon. Pag nakakuha na po ng, of course, sa PSA level, pag nakakuha na, pag nakalusot, pwede na mag-LTO. Diba, driver's license. Pwede na mag-passports, no? Et cetera. Gun license, pwede rin. Well, fucking, pwede may mga baril. But anyway, so, question, it's either directly involved, yung mga personal sa agency, or because of the weak guidelines, no? And practices doon mismo sa mga agencies. Pero of course, in the case of, this is Parokya, in the case of Mexico, Pampanga, malinaw po na yung mayor doon is involved. Is in courts with Eddie Tayang. So, kung titingnan mo, kung nangyayari ito sa municipal level, at ganito, yung POGO at saka yung drugs. Siyempre, yung buong connection nito from the lower level up to the higher level, ang question na ngayon is, dapat malinaw kung ano talagang, kung sino ang mananagot dito sa national level. Kasi, as mentioned by Chairman Dan kanina, kaya kumalat yung POGO dahil doon sa EO 13 eh. But of course, this is not a conclusive, by the members of this PADCOM. Ang sa akin lang po is, of course, may managot dyan. Now, kaya nga, gusto kong ibalik, it's the former president that issues that EO, kung POGO ang pag-uusapan, he has to answer that. Diba? So, ano yan, napaka-complicated na net ng mga sindikato. In which, ngayon, karamihan is involved yung mga foreign nationals na mga Chinese.
Mr. Chair, may I? Thank you. Doon po kasi sa nangyayari sa atin, some people are taking advantage of the loopholes of our laws. Some people have also taken advantage doon sa masamang kultura natin kung minsan, especially in the implementation of our laws. Kasi, we take a specific example kung bakit nagkakaroon ng passport yung alien, for example, Chinese. Kasi, inallow natin na magkaroon ng late registration. For example, Alice Go, 17 years. 17 years old nung na-register yung birth niya eh. So, it was registered in a local civil registry. Hindi natin malam kung yung local civil registry, sinunod niya yung patakaran nila para magkaroon ng tamang late na pagka-register na kanyang birth. Now, tinanong din namin kasi i-report ng local civil registry sa PSA where we get all our birth certificates to support yung ating pag-apply dun sa passport. Yung tinignan din namin yung protocol ng PSA, ang sagot nga sa amin nun, ministerial lang yung kanilang gawain eh. So there's something missing doon sa ating mga batas at sa ating mga guidelines or protocols. So we have to look into this para ma-plug yung mga loopholes na ito. And I think that's part of the reason why kailangan maimbestigan ng Quadcom para yun nga magkaroon ng remedial measures after the hearings conducted by this body. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Ako, sagutin ko lang yung katanungan mo na gaano kalawak, So, sa investigasyon natin sa PNP, naniniwala tayo na maraming involved, doon lang sa successful operation, tapos na-relieve yung mga officers and men, tapos they were scattered all over the country. Instead, nandito sila, pagpapatuloy yung laban doon sa mga illegal gamblings, illegal pogos, inalis sila dito sa kanilang area of jurisdiction na naging successful. We have found out na yung issue ng mga ng ating mga opisyal ay umaakyat hanggang itaas. Having said that, no, meron din sa issue ng mga LGUs, sa mga mayors. Well, hindi natin alam kung gaano kalawak itong involvement ng mga public official elected, and even yung mga appointed sa PSA, they were appointed, but of course hindi natin alam kung gaano kahaba yung ammunition ng mga ating mga kalaban, kasi ang pipili mo dito kaya lumalawak to dahil sa pera, no? So in other words, kaya natin inaalam dahil national security na nga po ang concern dito, yung ating pong bayan, so mamimili ka na dito, di ba? Pera o bayan. Yun lang po.